രാഷ്ട്രപതിക്ക് ഡിലിറ്റ് നൽകാൻ ശുപാർശ ചെയ്തുവെന്ന് സ്ഥിരീകരിച്ച് ഗവർണർ ആരിഫ് മുഹമ്മദ് ഖാൻ വൈസ് ചാൻസലറോട് തന്റെ ഈ നിർദ്ദേശം നൽകി. പറ്റില്ലെന്ന വിസിയുടെ മറുപടി കേട്ട് ഞെട്ടി. രേഖാമൂലം വിശദീകരണം വേണമെന്നാണ് താൻ ആവശ്യപ്പെട്ടതെന്നും വിസിയുടെ കത്തിലെ ഭാഷ ലജ്ജാകരമായിരുന്നുവെന്നും ഗവർണർ പറഞ്ഞു.
If the university authorities decide, I shall go to him, go to Rashtrapati Bhavan and say that this may be considered a special case because Kerala is the oldest university of the country. So this may be considered as a special case. 4 days later, 5 days later, on 5th of December, he calls Raj Bhavan, and maybe that stage has not come when I will let you know what exactly he told our office. It is not only that he, poor thing, cannot write 5 lines, he does not even know how to talk and how to convey any message. I was shocked and surprised when I was informed that this is what he has said. I am still not telling you what. It left me stunned. How anybody can use this language? I was, honestly, I am telling you, it took me about 10 minutes to recover. I was not ready to believe that some educated person can say this kind of sentence. I don't feel like showing my face to anybody outside Kerala. This is the language which my Vice Chancellor, university which is one of the oldest university, is concerned. Vice Chancellor of that university is writing this language.
ഗവർണർ മാധ്യമങ്ങളോട് സംസാരിക്കുകയാണ്. തത്സമയം
In this situation, I cannot continue. This is so far. But I would say that Chief Minister letters, he is assuring again and again that they have no intention to interfere. So if there is a meeting point, if we discuss a meeting point, but why I am saying so? Because now I am not going to, I have come to the conclusion that this rot which has set in the higher education, 7 professors applying for the job of Vice Chancellor, the committee which includes Higher Education Council chairman, they say 6 are not even worthy of, they lack basic qualities, basic qualification. So this is the state of affairs. Now if I review my decision and I resume my duty, then it will be, I have already told you, I am going to take drastic action.
Sir, one more question, sir. Sorry for coming back to my earlier question. Do you think that CM was the one who gave instruction to VC?
If I wanted to discuss this thing, then why in the first instance I will refuse to reveal what the Vice Chancellor said on the first day. I don't want to complicate the situation further.
Then why should government,
whatever action to rectify the situation, whatever action I could contemplate, I have taken that action. And if I am satisfied, last 4 days back when I was going, I said, yes, if there is a clear-cut assurance that no interference will be there, I said.
Do you believe in the words of the CM?
No, it's not question of believing. Law confers power only in the Chancellor. Once this, then I won't have to depend on them. And for that you can trust me. That I won't need anybody's approval. So far my approach was that I am Chancellor because I am Governor. Therefore, I had not realized that the state of the higher education has touched this nadir.
So, sir, if you continue as the Chancellor, you're getting another chance to rectify the problem you have identified.
No, I will.
Consider continuing as the Chancellor of the university.
I have not decided so far. But yesterday, in the night when I reached Kerala House in Delhi to come here, then some of the Kerala media persons were there. There also I said that to be fair to the CM, he has written 3 letters, and each letter he is assuring that there will be no interference. But still I wanted to give him time and tell him that that now it will be a different chancellor. Why? Because earlier somehow I did not want to provoke any, not to disturb whatever is going on. But the situation has reached so low that if you do not take action now, then you will be failing in the performance of your duties. Forget about everything. The chairman of the Higher Education Council, the vice chairman of the State Planning Board, they are member of that selection committee. They are saying out of 7 professors of 10 years standing in Kerala universities who applied for the post of vice chancellor, we are recommending one only because others 6 lack basic qualifications. How come they became professors if they lack basic qualifications? I ask you. It can happen only when there is too much political interference.
Can't you correct these interferences?
I don't know, but now I will, if matter is resolved and I resume my duty, that will be my total focus.
By resuming your duty, can't you correct the government?
No,
That's the best way to correct the government.
you protect the universities because governments come and go. You know, always remember, world over, it is not Kerala, world over, the universities, it stings in the nostrils of those who believe in the independence of academics, autonomy of the universities. Any interference by the executive stings in the nostrils of those people. Even in developed countries, ministers cannot dare to interfere in the functioning of the university. And universities can bloom, can really develop, can come into their own only when they are allowed to grow independently.
One doubt. Even if the Advocate General has given a very clear advice, maybe his opinion, on the appointment of a Vice Chancellor, but if the Governor has any doubt on it, or if you think that it was not right, you could have resisted it.
Okay, right. We appoint Advocate General or Attorney. System provides for this highest authority. Only when we have doubts in our mind. Already so many Vice Chancellors I have appointed. He did not give advice. I did not see. Even in this matter, I did not seek advice. But finally, when the opinion comes, you have reposed trust in him. That whenever I will be in doubt, I will seek your opinion and then I will go by that. Otherwise, what is the use of having? It's a different matter if you ask me the question that when I appointed him, I reposed that trust in him. In fact, what if I were in your place, I would ask this question, whether you still have trust in him.
So that is my second question.
That I will let you know in 2-3 days. Hey, give me little more time.
We'll come back.
Governor, Advocate General can, article of the Constitution is absolutely clear. He can continue in office only as long as he enjoys pleasure of the governor. So the question, if I were in your place, I will ask the question that after having misled me, he has misled. Why he has misled? If somebody is not pricking his conscience, he will write to me that now I don't want to appear for you in the High Court. Instead of that, he has gone to the press and said he won't appear for me. Now I have made arrangement for, now I have made a non-official lawyer to appear in the High Court. But he has gone public. So the right question would have been whether he still enjoys my confidence. Yes.
Does he still
I will let you know. Give me some more time.
another subject?
Because the moment I say something, then, you know, then yes. So I won't say right.
Another subject. A lot of questions have arisen about the feasibility of the proposed Silver Line project in the state.
I won't. I really.
You ask the government for clarification because people are concerned.
If I receive representation, definitely I will. Definitely I will. Yes. You know, I don't look at things like this. It's only inexperience and the intra-party struggle. They used me only to settle accounts among themselves. So I don't take it that way.
Sir,
I don't take
sir,
it.
one more clarification. You said that you sought AG's legal opinion, and after getting AG's legal opinion, you signed an appointment order with any doubt, right? Without any doubt. Right?
No. I still had my doubts. But we appoint, the government appoints law officers when we have doubts. Then that is why the legal officers are appointed. I still had my reservations. And now I have even strong reservations. Why I have strong reservations? That he is saying to the press, he is not even saying to me. He is saying to the press that he won't appear on my behalf. He has been appointed by me and he is saying he won't appear on my behalf. It means somewhere his conscience is pricking.
So you think that AG misled you, right?
AG?
Misled you.
No, AG clearly misled me. AG clearly misled me, and I have not come to this conclusion because what he has written. I have come to this conclusion that on my behalf he does not, action I have taken based on his opinion, and he is saying I won't appear in the High Court. It means he finds his own opinion indefensible.
So if you are so much clear about that, what you did in Kannur VC appointment, why don't you rectify it, sir?
After that, something more serious happened. If you are suffering from headache, and God forbid, Corona takes over, you will address headache or you will address Corona? I'm asking. Something very serious has happened. I will address if I am satisfied, and I am saying, in fairness to Chief Minister, he has already written to me 3 letters. So, but I wanted to give them time to realize the consequences that if I resume, it is not going to be calm waters now. It will be, I will, right from day one, I will be on the course, on course correcting mission.
So you were saying some assurance, you were saying some about clear-cut assurance from government to resume in your position.
No,
that assurance include these recommendations, acceptance of these recommendations for honoring the president? That assurance-
No. I have already. You don't listen to me when I speak. In fact, media people generally, they are more interested in their questions than the answers. I have told you, Rashtrapati Bhavan. I had told the Vice Chancellor that Rashtrapati Bhavan has a clear-cut policy not to accept any honor from any university. But if
ശക്തമായ വെളിപ്പെടുത്തലുമായി രംഗത്തെത്തിയിരിക്കുകയായിരുന്നു ഗവർണർ. തിരിച്ചു വരാം ഇടവേളയ്ക്ക് ശേഷം.